Hello everyone, welcome to Daily Current Affairs series. Today we will discuss about 15th May current affairs. Myself Sunny Sandeep. Welcome to my channel Gear Up for Group 1 exam. Let us discuss the current affairs. Due to COVID-19, our Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman ji announced a 20 lakh crore package that is under the Atmanirbhar India. Here, yesterday we have seen that there is a package for MSMEs, almost 3 lakh crore. Now it is about more for the migrants. The second part of the economic stimulus package focuses on migrant workers and farmers. Here almost 8 crore migrants are there who are not covered under the food distribution system. For them, there will be given 5 kg of grains per persons and 1 kg chana per family per month for 2 months. Affordable rental housing complexes planned under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. Here, interest subvention worth of 1500 crore announced for the Mudra Sishu loans of up to 50,000. In Mudra loans, there are 3 types of loans are there. They are Sishu, Kishore and Tarun. Here, one nation and one ration card to be used to enable access of public distribution system across the country. 100% national coverage expected to be by March 2021. Here, funds worth 6,000 crore to be used for boosting employment for Adivasis and tribals. Here, a scheme worth 5,000 crore to facilitate easy access to the credit for street vendors. There also a scheme for street vendors that is a 5,000 crore. Here, 63 lakh agricultural loans worth 86,600 crore approved between the March 1st and April 30. A concessional credit for 2.5 crore PM Kisan beneficiaries worth 2 lakh crores. Here, Centre has released 11,000 crores to states on April 3rd to augment the funds in their State Disaster Response Fund, that is SDRF, for setting up of shelters for migrants. There is a fund that is State Disaster Fund Response Fund that is released by Centre, that is almost 11,000 crore. Here, 14.62 crore person days of work generated under the MG Narega Act as of May 13th. Here, there is a editorial explanation. Here, lockdown syndrome. Beside, we are facing problems with the COVID-19. There is also another problem, that is economic slowdown. Here, the country's industrial output as measured by the Index of Industrial Production, that is IIP, contracted by the 16.7% in March. This is contrasted to the same month in last year, that is almost 2.7 growth rate has been seen. Here, the COVID-19 crisis is being a temporary external shock, much like a demonetization in 2016, but much larger in scale. It is like a demonetization in 2016, but it is in a larger scale. Can theoretically, please underline, can theoretically lead to the quick bounce back in economic activity once the lockdown is lifted. But the actual pace of the recovery in industrial production and even wider the economy will depend on the policy environment created by the government after the crisis. Here, after the lockdown lifted, we have to ensure that policy environment created by the government should be very good in stage. Otherwise, we are in trouble of economic situation. That's why the economic rescue measures announced by the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Wednesday, such as more loans to small and medium scale enterprises, that is MSMEs, and looser credit standards can help the recovery by allowing business to find their feet on soon. Here, obviously, the key will be lie in the implementation of these measures. Previously, we have discussed on that policy environment created by the government. Here, the government's emphasis on self-reliance, that is Atmanirbhar India, it's as a new economic agenda. Next one, we will discuss about the Asia Pacific afloat. Keeping Asia Pacific afloat, that means there is a pollution is increasing in this region, that is Asia Pacific region. Almost more countries are included in this Asia Pacific region. The Asia Pacific region has thrived on our seas. The seas provided food, livelihoods and sense of identity, especially for coastal communities in the Pacific Island states. Here, climate change and unsustainable resource management have degraded ecosystems and diminished biodiversity. Due to the pollution in Asia Pacific region, there is a degraded ecosystems and diminished biodiversity. Here there is a important or most concentrating point is marine plastic pollution. Coursing through the region's rivers has contributed most of the debris flooding the region, flooding the ocean. Debris means death particles, death animals are coming out from the ocean. While the COVID-19 pandemic has temporarily reduced the pollution, it is not a permanent solution. It is a while COVID-19 pandemic has temporarily reduced the pollution, that is marine plastic pollution. Here there is a report that is changing sails, accelerating regional actions for the sustainable oceans in Asia and Pacific. The theme study of this year's is Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific. This article is written by the Secretary of ESCAP, that is Economic and Social Commission for Asia and Pacific. Here ESCAP is working with the member states to implement the International Maritime Organization, that is IMO requirements. Here I have given there are 17 sustainable development goals are there. In that 14th one is life below the water. There is a lack of data in this Asia Pacific float, that is ESCAP. Here we have to protect our seas, then only our livelihoods should be there. For that we have to protect our seas from marine plastic pollution. Next one, stop the return to the laissez-faire. What is the laissez-faire meaning? It is a previous colonial rule that is done by the British government. That's why don't return to the laissez-faire economy. Why? Because several governments like Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh suspended all labor laws for 3 years. Here we have to understand that whether states have that power to suspend that labor laws. Why? Because labor is under concurrent list. We have see this one. The Factories Act lays down 8 hours work shifts with overtime wages, weekly offs, leave with wages and measures for health, hygiene and safety. Here the Factories Act says about the work shift, 8-hour work shifts, but CII is suggesting that there should be a 12 hours work shift with overtime wages, weekly offs, leave with wages and measures for the health, hygiene and safety. Another act, that is Industrial Dispute Act, provides for the workers' participation to resolve wage and other disputes through the negotiations to that strikes and lockouts. Unjust retrenchments and dismissals are avoided. Here the Minimum Wages Act, that is ensures wages below which is not possible to the subsist. Here section 5 of the Factories Act empowers that state governments to exempt only in case of a public emergency. Only we can suspend the labor laws only in case of public emergency under the section 5 of Factories Act, which is explained as a grave emergency where the security of India or any part of the territory thereof is threatened. Please underline the word grave emergency whereby the security of India or any part of the territory thereof is threatened, whether by the war or external aggression or internal disturbance. There is no such threat to the security of India as of now. That's why under the section of 5 of the Factories Act we cannot suspend the state government laws due to the COVID-19. Here I have previously told that labor is a concurrent subject in the constitution, and most pieces of labor legislations are central elements only, enactments only. The UP government has said that labor laws will not be applied for the next 3 years. Even laws to protect basic human rights covering migrant workers, minimum wages, maternity benefits and gratuity etc. have been suspended. Apart from these some basic requirements, these also suspended. Why? Because very important to the labor, that is migrant workers, minimum wages, maternity benefit and gratuity. How can state government in one fell swoop nullify the central enactments? I have said that labor is a concurrent subject almost in a all legislatures, most of the pieces are comes under the central enactments. Here, the orders and ordinance issued by the state governments are undemocratic and unconstitutional. These orders and ordinances are issued by the state governments, that means governments given by the Uttar Pradesh government and Madhya Pradesh government, undemocratic and unconstitutional. The existing conditions of labor will have to be continued up to there is a legislation in that. Next one, Navy's personal protective equipment gets patent. That means that is a PPE. The patent was successfully filled by the Intellectual Property Facilitation Cell, that is IPFC of the Defense Ministry in association with the National Research Development Corporation, that is NRDC, an enterprise under the Ministry of Science and Technology. The Navy said in a statement, the low-cost PPE, that is personal protective equipment, has been developed by a doctor posted at the recently created innovation cell at the Institute of Naval Medicine, that is INM, in Mumbai. It is located in Mumbai. A pilot batch of PPE had been produced at the Naval Dockyard at Mumbai. Next one, CBDT, that is Central Board of Direct Taxes, notifies the reduction in TDS and TDS. What is the meaning of TDS and TCS? TDS means tax deducted at source. TCS means tax collected at source. Here right side I have given that there is a difference between TDS and TCS. It comes under the buyer section TDS, it comes under the seller section TCS. Amount paid, amount received. Buyer or the payer, seller or the payer or the payee. Crediting the seller's account at the time of payment, debiting the buyer's amount at the time of receipt. Here in a simple example I will tell. Suppose I want to buy a pizza in a pizza shop. That means I am a buyer. Pizza shop is a seller. TDS is at myself. TCS at pizza shop. Amount paid by myself. That means pizza cost is paid by myself. That is TDS. Amount received by pizza shop is known as TCS. Myself, buyer or payer, or pizza shop is a seller or the payee. Here I will pay the amount at the same time, at the payment of that time, crediting the seller's account at the time of payment, debiting the buyer's accounts at the time of receipt. That pizza shop will debit the account at the time of receipts. Here there are some notifications, notified reductions are in TDS and TCS. I will list out that 10% TDS was levied on interest on securities, interest on bank account, dividend payments, which has now reduced from 10% to 7.5%. That is TCS on sale of motor vehicles above 10 lakh has been cut to 0.75% from the 1% earlier. Tax collected at source. The CBDT said that TDS payment for life insurance policy has been reduced to 3.75% from the 5% earlier, while that on dividend and interest as well as rent for immovable property has been cut to 7.5% from 10%. Here the 1% TDS on payment made for the acquisition of immovable property has now been reduced to 0.75%. Here payment of rent by individual or Hindu undivided family been cut to the 3.75% from the 5%. Here there are like TDS and e-commerce participants has also been reduced to 0.75% from the 1%. Tax on professional fee has been reduced to from 2% to 1.5%. TDS on payments in respect of deposits under National Savings Scheme, that is NSC, has been reduced to 7.5% from 10%. Here payments for repurchase of units by mutual funds to 15% from 20%. The same on insurance commission and brokerage have been cut to the 3.75% from 5%. The TDS on payment dividend by mutual funds has been reduced to 7.5% from 10%. These are the notified reductions in TDS or TCS. Next one, I promised to make a previous paper analysis, that is UPSC Prelims 2019. In India, which of the following review independent regulators in sectors like telecommunications, insurance and electricity? Once again I will read it. Why? Because important, the question is very important. Understanding the question is very important. In India, which of the following review independent regulators in sectors like telecommunications, insurance, electricity. Here options are given: ad hoc committees set up by the parliament, parliamentary depart related standing committees, finance commission, financial sector legislative reforms, Niti Aayog. Here we have to see the background of these committees. There are two types of committees, that is the first one ad hoc committee and another one standing committees. Ad hoc committees is for a temporary, standing committees for permanent in region, permanent in situation. That's why where there are regulator is required, like telecommunication, insurance, there should be some committees are there, like ad hoc committees and standing committees. For select the correct answer using the given below. Options are A 1 and 2, B 1, 3 and 4, C 3, 4 and 5, D 2 and 5. Here the correct option is A. That means ad hoc committees set up by the parliament, and second one parliamentary department related to the standing committees. With this we can conclude our video. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe to my channel. Gear up for Group 1 exam. This is Sunny Sandeep. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.